Hey, mate.
G'day, Guns.
How are you?
How are you?
G'day, guys.
How are we all?
How you going? I hope you're all having a ripping Thursday night.
I know, we are.
It's a great night
How's
for
this for news?
No, look at this. Here we are.
A few people in the background, so there's a little bit of background noise tonight.
Hanging out with all the cool kids. We
No,
are.
just.
No. I'll tell you what an accommodating bunch of cool kids we've got here today.
Ripper so far. I've been here a couple of hours and absolute
So,
fire so far.
as you can probably see, we've got some signage down the bottom saying where we are.
Yeah.
We're live
Somewhere
at
a
the
little bit different this week.
new Frankston Brew House.
We are.
Where is it, El? Give us
It
a
is
heads
number
up.
10 New Street in Frankston.
Nice. So we wandered down here this afternoon. We've been talking to Michaela mainly, getting this all set up.
That's right. She's again been very accommodating. As is everyone here so far.
Been
as you said,
fantastic.
yeah.
What a good bunch they are. God, I just caught myself in the camera, mate. I need to sit up and
Lose a
hold it
couple
in a
of
little
kicks.
bit. Jeez.
You're
Look
probably
at
due.
Crikey. I need a
G'day,
few
Yak.
laps
How are you,
around the
mate?
block.
I wonder if Yak's survived the weekend, mate.
G'day,
Obviously,
Yak.
as he's
I
on,
did
or is that
speak
just
to him.
Kylie? Yeah.
Hey, Moores, how are you? Evening and welcome. So
Hey,
here
Jared,
we are.
thanks for the stars again.
I'll tell you the other thing we're doing is...
Having a few beers. The beers are ripping down here, aren't they?
We have got roaming bubbles back tonight. So
Yeah.
be prepared, we've got roaming bubbles
Yeah,
on the go.
he's going to take us for a little tour around the brewery and a few other spots. Might get into the kitchen and disrupt the cooks and
Yeah, we might upset their night. It's
might
only
get in there and
Thursday.
take over.
As you can tell, like, I'm surprised, like, Thursday night, this place is kind of nestled in the back of a bit of an industrial estate.
Well, the thing that the guys did say as well was Thursday was their quiet night, and I'll be honest, it's pretty bloody busy.
I was going to say, it's not too bloody
So
quiet.
if
Let
this
me
is
give
quiet,
it
they're
to
doing
you.
pretty well. And I mean, the other thing is, they're only 5 weeks old.
Yeah.
Not even 5 weeks, 4
When
and a
you-
half weeks.
5 weeks, and they tell me last weekend they were turning people away.
Crazy,
It
hey?
was busy, so fantastic. Hey, mate, this week's highlights, what have you been up to? What's going on? What's
We
happening?
went up to Chef, went to the Grillin BBQ Fest, had an absolute ball up
That was
there
a
again.
good fun day.
Very accommodating up in Shepparton up there.
Ripping
We've
bunch
got,
of guys.
did a heap of interviews, so we'll get those up next. We're going to do a bit of a Shep Brewing Barbecue Festival on the show next Thursday.
Yeah,
So we did that, and so we had a ball.
Yeah, it was
Met
good
some really nice people, got some really good connections, and some stuff that we're going to do in the future.
I'll tell you,
Come out of it.
one of the highlights for me, Al, and this is a bit of a spoiler alert, we met a couple from a place called the Chuka Distillery.
That's right. Yeah.
And not in fashion with the beer and barbecue.
Yeah.
They're actually there as a distillery doing gin.
That's right, the gin. Yeah. And
Hey.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a gin person, but that gin was actually really good.
And they had lineups for a
It
week.
was
So
crazy, but there was a line there all day as well.
David and Fiona from the Chuka Distillery, shout out to you,
Yeah,
hey
thanks,
guys.
guys. G'day.
And
Yeah.
it was ripping, great to have a chat with you and all that sort of stuff.
we had a ball,
It
yeah.
was good fun. Good fun.
Other thing, Gabs were announced.
Gabs.
Yeah. See, tickets are on sale already.
Tickets are on sale
Where can we be
now
there?
for Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, I believe.
Yeah.
And if you get in early, if you're keen on going along,
Yeah.
let us know, because if we book our tickets collectively as a group,
Yeah.
then
That's why you get the
we can
discount.
get a
Special
discount.
rate.
So
Yeah,
if
I
you
think
got more
they're
than
like
10
$35
people,
a ticket if you get 10
Hey,
or
if
more.
you-
Otherwise, $50. So if anyone's keen,
Yeah,
drop
if
us
you-
a message, DM, whatever.
you can meet us there, and
Yeah.
happy to meet and greet and have a yak with everyone.
not?
We probably won't have any sort of official role or anything there. We
But no,
might just
I'm just
chill
going to
out.
go and enjoy it.
Go and have a fun day.
That's
try
my
us.
plan. Go and try as many beers and
And yes,
Top of
Yak,
that
it was
of the
just
place.
a normal weekend in Shep. It
It
was.
was. We had a ball.
Yeah,
No,
by
we
about
really did.
7:30, we were all ready for bed.
No, I was in bed at 7:30.
Far out. Hey, there you go.
Hey,
so-
restrictions lifted in Vic. Finally, can go to the shopping centre, can go to the supermarket, no mask. How good's this?
Tomorrow.
Did you notice though? Every other lockdown easement we've had so far has been on a Sunday night
Yeah.
at midnight.
Yep.
How convenient was it? 6 o'clock on a Friday, just in time for the footy. This one.
Oh, easy target tonight's footy. We've got Collingwood
Yeah,
Carlton
but it's only
tonight.
Collingwood Carlton. It's not like it's a big game or anything. They've only played like 285 games.
Come on, mate.
They've
Give
won
me
127 each and
Give
drawn
me-
47, so it's not like anyone really cares.
This is how bad it is. I didn't even talk about blokes who do their research. The big fellas all over it. I love it.
I love that stat because I knew you wouldn't know.
It's good. I love it. He's our new Bruce. It's special.
I know, yeah, I know.
I love it.
I'll
Hey, I'll
take
tell
that.
you, talking of footy, the 2SG
Actually,
tipping.
g'day,
tipping
Bertie.
front-
How are you, mate?
Hey, Stewie. How are you,
All the way
mate?
from the
Robbo.
UK. How are you,
G'day,
mate?
Robbo. Robbo,
Thanks for joining us.
how's the Rambler going, mate? We want to know all about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
When I was over there, so Stewie's from the UK.
Yeah.
He said when I was out in Australia, Frankston was full of bogans. Big Al told me to watch out for drop bogans like drop bears only worse.
That's it, exactly.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah, and they've still got bogans. My brother moved out
Oh, look at this.
Good mate.
The
Beautiful.
amazing
Thanks for
Joseph
that.
has
Joseph has
just
bought
wandered
us a
by.
feed. Have a look at this.
Have a look at this. You got it?
Thanks, mate.
Oh,
There we go. Soups is here in the background and she's just claimed it.
Soups is unbelievable.
G'day, Sam. How are you, mate?
Soups is
Cheers,
not.
everybody. Where's the camera?
Soups is not even working
I
tonight.
know she's not. But the other thing, Storm Penrith tonight in the NRL, the rugby.
Any wonder we
Go Stormers.
Any wonder we got no one bloody watching us anymore.
yeah.
Hey, g'day Sam Kimber. How are you, mate? G'day Mill. Sil, son-in-law.
Oh, son-in-law. I was going to say Sil. What's going on here?
Short for silly bugger,
idiot.
probably. Yeah. But anyway, hey mother-in-law, how are you?
Good. Good.
So
Thanks
yeah,
for joining us.
surprised anyone's actually on. But anyway, considering
no.
what footy's on tonight.
Yeah, obviously Storm Penrith. And the other thing that happened in rugby, well, not really rugby related, but he did play rugby. What Anthony Mundine retired yesterday.
Praise the Lord!
As much as a lot of people are happy about it, I'm like, you know what, I did enjoy watching his fights. I loved he's got that Conor McGregor about him, Harry. He's just always got that banter and he's always selling himself.
Hang on. How close is Sips? He's a tosser. Right?
Bit harsh, mate. No, he's alright. He's alright. He's underappreciated.
Nah, can't stomach him. G'day, Pete Mole. How are you, mate? Good
But
to see you.
that was his whole thing.
You should be down here being a good Peninsula boy yourself. Hey, so we're in Frankston, the gateway to the Mornington Peninsula.
We are.
Not about the bogans, it's about the gateway. This is all about class and it is actually becoming a bit gentrified down here.
It is.
Frankston's
Well, it's ever
changed.
since Sean and Jade moved down there, isn't it? Pete Briscoe.
It's actually changed a hell of a lot down here
Yeah,
now.
it has.
Super Joseph comes out,
I know,
the
he's bringing all the
general
food to
manager.
us and-
He keeps bringing it to us, and the
I know,
girls
yeah,
are going
the girls are
crazy
going
at it.
mental, yeah.
Anyway, g'day Pete, good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, how my
Yeah,
pallets going?
that he stole on the weekend. We go to Shepparton and
Good
Pete
work,
Alden's
mate.
over there stealing his fuel for his smoker.
Hey,
Anyway,
so,
well played, I say.
speaking of our footy tips,
Yeah.
who's winning?
He's only brought it
Who's on
up
top?
because, well, footy tips is Griggy, Andrew Grigg, good friend of ours, and watches the show quite often. I know he's up on the Gold Coast at the moment, so there's zero chance he's watching the show, but I know he'll watch it. And then, of course, this is the one you won him for, obviously, the NRL tipping. Oh, mate, just
Out
climbed the
front.
ladder this week. I think
Out
last week he was sitting in about 10th spot.
Give me
and
a
he's just
spell. I got
jumped up
6
9 and
last week, and I had a fair crack again this
just
week.
jumped up, and now he's sitting there
I'm
pretty
going
on
right.
top.
I'm going right. Hi,
So,
sister.
good on you, mate. Good on
Hey,
you.
I'll tell you what, Robbo, it's good to hear that you've replaced your Weber EO with our grill. That is awesome. I hope it's
Mate.
doing as good a job.
I tell you what, it was a pretty cool little Weber, I'll be honest. It was the tiniest little Weber, it was about that big.
That he's got at home.
Yeah,
Good
Robbo
stuff.
had, but there's no wonder he got replaced with the Rambler.
Come on, Robbo, put some photos up of the Weber and the Rambler. We want to see.
So anyway,
Hey,
Pete, tell us a little bit about where are we? Tonight, obviously, we're at 10 New Street in Frankston.
Yeah, we are.
Great
We
little
are.
spot, actually, in the industrial.
It is
zone
a good
here,
spot.
and
It's
got
just
pizza
off
parking.
like the dandy Frankston Road. Stacks of parking around it.
Yeah.
It's a good little spot. You punch it into your GPS and you'll find it easily.
Take the first turn, not the second one like I did.
Park around the back.
It's an extra 6 minutes
it's
that way.
pretty good. But rather than us tell you about it,
Yeah.
why don't we get two blokes
Yeah.
from the Frankston Brew House in?
Well, not only just two blokes, they're literally like the GM and
Well, they are.
they're both brewers.
They're owners.
Yeah,
They're
so we'll
owners
get
of the
them in.
place. So we're going to move out. We're going to let this bloke, Trav, or Travis, I'm
Trav
not
and
sure
Steve.
whether he likes Trav or Travis, or he doesn't care,
I don't mind, Ben.
and Steve. So Trav and Steve are two of the owners. So there are another two.
Pete, you might want to come in a bit, mate.
The two girls who keep ducking and leaving it. Don't worry,
yeah, we'll
people
be
have
right.
seen my head enough. It's fine. You
No
guys
one wants to see it. We saw enough of it last weekend.
hear enough of my voice, we won't see my mug. But anyway, hey, so Trav and Steve are two of the owners of Frankston Brew House.
Yeah.
And
The brewers.
And the brewers.
Yeah.
So Trav general managers, Steve looks after the brewing and the back end of things mainly. and Trav gets involved. You know what general managers are like? They've got to stick their finger in bloody everything. Involved in the brewing, involved in the kitchen. Am I on the money?
That's pretty accurate.
Right, yeah. I knew I wouldn't be far off the mark.
But they gave me that role because they want me to be poking in everywhere.
Nothing wrong with that.
Perfect man for the job.
Righto, boys, so give us the mail. What's it all about? Why are we here? What's Frankston Brewhouse all about? How did it start?
I mean, we're both Frankston residents.
Well, you're both Frankston boys?
Yeah. We've lived here all our lives. And we've been going to the pubs and we've been going to breweries. We like all the scene.
You've been going to the pubs in Frankston all your lives and you've both still got all your teeth.
Are they real though?
How does that work?
Yeah, we're pretty lucky there. But we just thought a venue like this was missing from Frankston. So we were like, what type of venue do we want to go to? What beers do we want to drink? We want to see a good wine menu.
So a bit more refined, a bit more
a little bit more
gentrified.
refined. And same with the food as well. What's coming out of the kitchen's been like really positive.
Oh.
The menu's awesome.
Mate, we've had a look at the menu, and I'll give you the tip. The menu looks mint.
Yeah.
We'll give you a proper feedback later when we have a bit of the taste. But we'll go with it. It looks
I'm looking
awesome.
forward to the cauliflower. And you know me, my cauliflower.
I know.
What it is.
The smoked sauce.
So how did it all come about? How did it start? Talk to us. Where was the birth?
Well, for me, it was just visiting my first brewery, which was Little Creatures in Fremantle. And it was just that experience, I guess.
Pretty shitty little brewery to visit for your first
That's right.
visit.
Yeah,
Crikey.
Jesus.
And it was just that experience at the tap room where I'm like, this is awesome. I love this. I love seeing the brewery in the background. I love drinking the beers and just critiquing the flavours and stuff. And then Steve and I were in a spa one day, as you do.
Of course you were.
Thank God I'm off the camera.
Yeah, quite a few beers down.
Yeah. Which is normally how it happens.
And we thought, we could probably make a better beer than this. So we did.
So where'd the first beer? Where was it done?
Well, we should probably tell you about the pilot system.
Yeah, we basically took, so my background's engineering, so I kind of got into what Trav was talking and had a big interest in getting that process control right and just learning.
We might need to pull the mic forward a little bit.
Pull it forward a bit.
We'll bring it up so that can't see it in the camera anyway. It's all good.
So then we started talking about this pilot system. So, well, if we're going to build a pilot system, it needs to be representative of what we would do as a bigger system. So we started out...
So this is at home? So
This is at
you're
home.
doing this pilot system at home?
Yeah, we actually took about 12 months to build the pilot system.
Jeez, it sounds like some sort of pilot system.
Yeah,
A lot of tasting, I'm sure, along
there's
the way.
a bit of research involved there. So we built that in Trav's basement.
Yeah.
And kind of, as I said, we took sort of 12 months and then really hit the ground from there. And the first recipes we did were, it was always with this venue in mind.
Yeah.
So the beers
So
that
from the
So you
very
always had
start
the big
when you spoke
picture.
about it, you
Yeah.
said, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, so we said, I want to open a brewery. I want you on board. and that was it.
then it was, how do we make beer? So
So you went, I want a brewery, I want you in it with me, now how are we going to make the beer?
That's it.
Right, okay, right.
Yeah, so that pilot system was designed so that with the intention of scaling up to a bigger system, which meant
So
that we
how
had
many, on the pilot system, what did you produce? Like what litre?
50 litres.
50 litres.
Yeah. So,
And was that the old bucket homebrew kind of kit?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah,
so it was
so-
a bit more serious than that.
yeah, all stainless. And we were doing things that you do in the brewery here. So we're doing, using plate chillers. We're using fermentation control. We were doing cold crushes. All the things that you do to make beer in a big brewery.
So you really had the big picture in mind, like you knew,
Yeah.
like you wanted that, obviously the smaller scale, but you were looking at the bigger picture from day one, basically.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
We were
So
propagating yeast as well.
Had either of you guys had any background in brewing before this? So,
No, zero.
or was this crash course research, learn how to make a beer?
yep.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn impressive, right?
It is, isn't it?
So here we are 12 months later.
Well, I mean, we made our very first beer, I think, 4 years ago, I
4
think.
years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Closer to 4 years. Yeah.
And which one was that? So is that one that you still run the recipe for? Or you've refined it a little bit? from
The
there?
very first one, no. I think the second one was Harold Hop. So the IPA that we did was the second beer that we brewed.
So the second beer you produced in your pilot system is one of the ones that's on tap here, which is called the Harold Hop.
Yep.
And that's an IPA.
That's an IPA.
It's got a good, decent sort
kick
of
to it,
slam
yeah,
to it.
beautiful.
I think that's the one you're laying into at the minute, Al,
Nice,
but-
mate, yeah.
I think that was the one we
Get on
brewed
it.
and we said, oh, we can actually do this. Like,
Give the guy that's driving the heavy beer
this is what we
early on.
So did you, in terms of the trial and error, were you getting your mates around and saying, here, have a crack at this, what do you think?
Yeah, correct. So I had a little fridge, or a big fridge set up in my garage. We'd keg into that, and then we'd invite people over for parties or birthdays and honestly say, what do you think of this beer?
Yeah.
And generally speaking, it was good feedback. A little bit of refinement here and there, but the end product's been really good.
So you got mates that are brutally honest.
Absolutely.
So if it was crap, they told you it was crap and all that sort of
They
stuff.
were very harsh too.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice. Nothing like a harsh critic to get you sorted out.
That's right.
They kept
So-
drinking it though.
Well, that's all
Wow.
that matters. If
Yeah.
they're drinking it, then it's got to
That's
be.
Nah, hang on.
I was going to say, no, my brother would
If
just
they're
keep
anything
drinking
like,
it.
if they're anything like our mates, it wouldn't matter. They'd drink it anyway. It could be like muddy river water. But anyway, so you've gone through that process. You've got a couple of beers up. How did the actual venue come about? And the other owners that are involved. Tell us about
Okay.
the two that
we're a bit camera
that
shy.
are throwing
Yeah.
you blokes in front of the camera.
So my partner's also involved.
Yep. Michaela, the lovely
Michaela,
Michaela, who we've
lovely
spoken
Michaela.
to quite a bit. Yep.
And
Far too good for you.
along. No, I'll take that. Fair enough.
He's batting this.
He
bloke.
only
I'll
says
give
that
you the
because
tip.
he's off camera and he can do
He's
what he wants.
bad.
Yeah.
And a long-term friend of mine, Jamie. A lady, Jamie.
Yep.
Not a male Jamie.
I did make that mistake when I came here, but yep.
And for me, they were just like really good people to get involved. We've all got different skill sets. None of us have worked in hospitality ever.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, so that was one of our weak points. There's not a single one of us that had ever basically poured a beer at a bar before, nor knew anything about hospitality. So that's one.
So
of
what
the
is it?
things
Does
we have to do.
learn as you go, or is it?
I think it's just like, talking with people, getting a good
Picking it up,
team
yeah.
behind us. So we've got a couple of really great chefs, a venue manager that's had a lot of experience. So they've helped us along the way.
So we've had a chat with Joseph, who's your GM, Jules behind the bar, and we'll meet all them.
met Cam and Nina.
Cam and Nina in the kitchen. We're going to
Working wonders in there. Yeah, we're definitely going to have a chat.
They want to have a chat with you.
They're definitely not
No,
camera
they were a
shy.
bit
Those
excited
two.
when we came in. It's like, hang on. No, so in terms of the allocation of who did what, how did that work? Like, did you all just sit down and have a meeting and there was a consensus? This is where Steve's brain is. This is where I am.
I think as all good businesses should, we did it the correct way, and that's with a proper business plan. We set proper position descriptions for us all. We did proper sort of market research to make certain that it was viable. We picked a location. So two of the owners bought the facility, so that which was the only way that we could get through sort of COVID. The whole project's funded by ourselves, so that's the way we're able to. We took a year and a half to build because we were also the builders as well.
So it's purpose
Wow.
built.
Yeah, it's purpose built.
Purpose built, owner built.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And a
impressive.
great job you've done as well. It's
Yeah, that's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
So it's funny because, I had a bit of a joke with Trav before we came on tonight, and I'd read a bit of the social media stuff. There was a guy who put a comment up after seeing a photo that said, "Oh, it looks a bit sterile," and I walked in and went, "Absolutely not sterile, let me give you the tip. This is what would you explain it as, Al? It's a bit of a funky, chic kind of..."
Oh, I love it. I think it's perfect for a brew house.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's got that just an awesome decor.
Yeah, you can-
Great feel about it.
See all the tanks in behind us and all that sort of thing. I think it's got a good vibe and a good feel.
Yeah.
And, it's nice place.
Yeah, we really went into it with that idea of we wanted to be immersed in the brew house,
Yeah.
but we didn't want that cold environment the harshness of the brew house. So we've got that window there, you can see it, but then out here you've got a comfortable area.
That's kind of
And what is cool as well, when you walk out to the toilets, go to the bathrooms, you're actually walking into the brew.
You're in the
brew area. You're literally in there.
Yeah,
Like,
so if we're
walls,
brewing in there,
nothing.
you get all the smells of the brewing process, but you come out here and you get
I suppose it's better than the
smells
smells of the toilet when you walk out there. The
Well, when they're brewing
that's
out there,
true.
you can literally just go and just watch like a stage show.
Nice. And
See
it's all
what's going on.
gated off and all that sort of thing, which is
Yeah.
cool. So what were your backgrounds before this? What were you doing?
Well, they still are, because we still
You still got real jobs?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we still
You
got.
blokes have still got real jobs?
Yeah.
All of us still have full-time jobs.
Really?
That's it. Yeah.
All right, so what do we do? What's
I do IT.
right?
We might need some of your help soon as those screens just went
I
blank
was going to
again.
say, the screen's just blacked out, but don't worry about that. We've got an IT guy on hand, it's all good.
Yeah, so I'm a manager for an equipment building and manufacturing business.
So engineering.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. And the girls?
The girls work at one of the courts in Frankston, so she's a court coordinator.
Yep.
And Michaela does risk management.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you guys open here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Yes.
right? And that's from what times? When are we?
Thursday. Let's see if we can remember.
Oh, here we go.
We have
Here
got
we
it.
go.
Hang on, I think
You haven't done it straight up, have you?
Yeah, no.
I could have
So-
actually given you a cheat sheet. I don't know if
That's
we wrote
all right.
it down.
It's,
we
yeah.
did. There you go.
It's Thursday 4 till 10. Friday from 3 till 11. Saturday from midday till 11.
Yep.
Sunday midday till 10. And that's in line with the producer's license.
Yeah, right.
The wine
okay,
and beer
cool.
producer.
Yeah.
We need to close at 11, but nothing good happens after 11, right?
Did it make a difference for you because you are in this industrial estate that with your hours? Or did
Not really.
No.
It comes under your liquor license, and
Yeah.
the liquor license means you have to close at 11. But the main reason you're in an industrial estate is because you'll notice a lot of breweries are in industrial estates.
Well,
And
I was saying before,
yeah.
it's actually a great spot because you've got so much parking. Obviously, you've got people here during the day, but at night, parking everywhere.
You can park anywhere you want.
Yeah.
And
It's a great area.
to be honest, it
Yeah.
probably changes the clientele a little bit that comes in as well. I mean, you're going to get a different, type of clientele that walks through the door, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I think that you get in the clientele that actually want to come
Yeah.
to a brewery
yeah,
and
yeah,
a restaurant.
yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'll tell you what we might do. We might get up and have a bit of a wander.
Okay.
You guys can show us the brewery. We're going to get, and I'll tell you what,
I'll tell you who's here today.
our community
and we have got
love,
him here
our community
somewhere.
love this guy. We had him on once. It's amazing. He came on once and did. We've got
The
homing
Christmas show. We
bubbles.
did the Christmas show
He
special.
does our filming off the thing. He did a Christmas show special. The next night he was in the city, and someone walked up and went, "Hey, you're roaming bubbles off that barbecue show." It was hilarious. But anyway,
So
there
yeah,
you
we're
go.
going to get up. He's going to get up and he's going to turn it straight on.
We're going to swap cameras. We're going to swap cameras up. So we're going to get up.
Here we are, guys. So we'll come through. It's even a little bit quieter. So this is the brew house. We've got the toilets and stuff through, so you can literally come through and just see what the guys are doing every day.
Hey, so who are you? It's a bit quiet around here, isn't it? So look at that. You can probably hear us really well.
So much better.
We won't have to get right up here and do it. It's all good. So anyway, hey, so Steve, you're the main man out here looking after this. Guide us through what happens. What's the process?
Yeah, so maybe we step over a little bit further here, so I can show you guys.
Can we walk in there?
Yeah.
Let's get in there. We're not touching the barbecue. That's all this bright shiny stuff in here. It's amazing.
Yeah, so we've got.
Hey boys, good.
We went from our 50 litre pilot system up to a 1,000 litre system. And again, like our pilot system, we took probably 12 months kind of really getting used to where we wanted to be. So always in the background we worked on the layouts and we've got a 3-vessel system, so the wine mash, water, kettle and whirlpool.
So how does that process work? So this is like, starts at the end, you put your brewery.
Yeah, so the mash is where you're starting with your grains. So you're mashing the grains, then you're taking the water into the kettle, boiling that start entering the hop. Kettle in that room. Across to the whirlpool.
What's Whirlpool actually doing?
So Grillin Whirlpool basically brings all the hot material and proteins into the centre, and then that settles in the centre of the home. So what that allows us is to make all the clean raw hot from the outside. So it's almost kind of like a filter process. So you don't take all your hot.
So it's not just a two ingredient mix.
So then we run it through our heat exchanger, we chill it down to our it's got cold water coming through the heat exchanger. So it's got cold water, hot water, cold water, hot water.
So we're getting told by a lot of people in microbrewing and craft beers, water's a really, really, really important part of what you do.
It is.
Where's your water coming from and how do you treat that?
Yeah, so we've done the lab tests and the Frankston water, that's specifically what we're doing here, looking at what minerals and contents are in there. Frankston water is pretty good. All of Melbourne water is pretty good. It's really good.
Yep.
So we've got some purification of the water coming in.
Yep.
And then depending what beer we're brewing, we add sort of minimal minerals into that to balance it out into the profile. That really is pretty minimal for us, so we're not adding a lot to it.
Yep.
We're just tweaking that to where we want it to be.
Yep. So when you say it's 1,000 litres that you're producing, so you're doing batches of each different brew that you do in a 1,000 litre batch. How often are you doing that? Are you doing one beer once a week for 1,000 litres? How are you actually doing that?
Yeah, so I guess we're still learning that a little bit. The system we've set up and part of the reason we've got a separate whirlpool is it makes it easier for us to do double batches in a day. So in a day we'll do 2,000 litres.
Yep.
And we've got fermenters set up so we can either do a 2,000 litre or a 1,000 litre. So we've got a bit of flexibility there.
So at the moment, that 1,000 litres is just going through your brew house here. Are you guys selling out to any of the retailers or?
Not yet, we're working on that. So really getting opening, and we had some delays with COVID. So we didn't.
It was a right time to stock up. Everyone was sitting at home. What did Dan say? Get on the beers.
Get on the beers, 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, 1 year ago we get on the beers, right?
So we had our starting stock, and then now that we're rolling, we've got beer going out in the taps. We're getting that schedule fine-tuned, and we'll start to really build onto that distribution. Talking to quite a few people about getting kegs into their facilities.
So at the moment you're just doing kegs, you're not doing cans and bottles, it's just
we're
kegs.
looking at canning as well.
Right.
So we'll hopefully in a couple of months we'll have cans as well.
So will you contract that out or do it here? You're going to get the gear in to do it here?
We'll contract the guys to do it here.
Right.
Yeah, we'll brew the beer here.
Yep.
They'll come in and they'll can on site.
They'll bring their machinery and can it here.
Correct.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Unload it in a day, can it. Sounds easy, we haven't done it yet, but
So
they've assured us it's going to work.
We've got to that part of the process, the heat exchanger. That was the last bit. Where does it go from the heat exchanger?
So it goes into one of the conical fermenters.
Right, so the conical fermenters are these big guys.
Correct.
Right.
So we've got
So it's a different brew in each one.
Yep.
Yep.
So we've got 2,000 litres of our lager in this fermenter here.
Hang on, Al, just turn the hand.
I know, it's probably not ready yet, Pete. Might not.
So once it goes in the fermenter, we put our yeast in.
Yep.
That's what gets that fermentation kick started. So that'll be in there for 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then from there, we'll run it into our bright tanks.
So how long does it take from start to finish? Like from literally from the first tank through to the tank?
On the lager, around about 5 weeks. We
Yeah.
like to give it a little bit more lagering time. Some of the other brews are 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, wow.
Our pale ale is a really high flocculating yeast. So
Jeez, I'm glad he said that.
I know.
so it'll ferment
No
really
longer a
quickly.
bit of good old fashioned flocculation.
I'll tell you what, that's one that I'm going to put into the show next week because I every now and then put these words into the show on the run sheet just to try and
Just puts
stump
it in there
it.
and then I'll start reading stuff out. Next week it'll be flocculation. Anyway.
So yeah, that might take only 3 weeks. But it's anywhere from that 3 to 5 week mark. Really.
So you guys are all about small batch, right? How many different beers are you making here on site?
So we've got our core range of 5 beers. And we want to keep that as that core range.
Yep.
And then we're going to expand into sort of more seasonal beers. And we might have 1 or 2 seasonal beers that are rolling through.
Yeah.
So that's kind of stays with what our philosophy is.
So who, out of you guys, and I know you both dabble a bit in the brewing side of it, so how does that process work to decide on what beer comes in and what doesn't for you guys?
Well, the GM would get the last say, wouldn't he? Really?
No, I think the 2 girls out there
Oh,
would get
there
the
is that
last
as well.
say. Let me give you the tip.
From the start, we've talked about what beer we think suits best for this venue, and even for like the Frankstonites, you know, they like drinking lager, so we knew that was going to be popular. But we'll just have a discussion what's in trend, what we actually personally like drinking, what we think we can make really well. We haven't talked about this, but
all sounds good in theory, though, right? Sounds like going on with this show.
100%.
I'd like to make a wheat beer for the winter.
We tried some wheat
tried,
beers on the weekend, a couple of European and cold Shannon wheat.
That's right.
So they are good.
Generally, we try and stick to like fairly traditional recipes, and we call them like socially approachable beers, so they're like pretty easy on the palate.
That's what I love about your craft beer guys. They've always got this nice little approachable. It's like what do the other guys say? Oh, smashable.
Yeah, smashable is what we heard a lot of on the weekend. Everyone saying
Everyone loves smashable drinks.
That's right.
So this is socially approachable. So this is taking that whole, I guess it's a bit buzzword and just keeping that whole marketing feel about it. It's pretty cool.
Definitely,
That
They got a
kinda came
massive
up.
big neon sign on the wall with it, which is good too. So
Yeah, that kind of came up when we were really developing the business plan. It's like, what do we want to do? A couple of things kind of came up. We want to be a venue that you could take your partner to a date. Go there with a bunch of friends and have a good time.
is there fuel farm between you friends? So you guys might have a ride.
It's the crowd we got going tonight actually, because there's a few boys from the plumbing business, and then there's a table with a few young people hanging out, and then we've got a few dates.
We'll get some riffraff on the righties. The hanger-oners.
And the riffraff, it's good.
So just on that, when you talk about the vision and all that sort of thing in the business, what did you guys
It was through business planning, but really going back to a venue that we want to create for ourselves. That's all about that.
So that's the vision. The vision is to create something that works for you guys, first and foremost, and hopefully that works for everyone.
I mean, we knew a lot of places that we'd like to go outside of Frankfurt, but not necessarily a lot of places that met those ingredients in Frankfurt.
We were always venturing out to the city or down to Mornington, rather than having somewhere in our hometown. So that's why we did it.
Yeah, nice. Hey,
Well, we know 2 blokes that are literally a few streets away that we'll be frequenting
here a little
here.
bit. Why don't we pop back out to the bar?
Yeah.
Evidently you guys do some paddles. We might come and partake in a little tasting and you can explain to us what you do with those beers. What do you reckon? Bubbles, we're on the way.
Done. Go,
Roaming bubbles. I'll tell you what, we might even do a sneak attack on Michaela and Jamie as well while we're out there. We'll do a sneak attack on them. Right a little bit so that here we are, this is the main bar at Frankston Brew House. We've got spectacular bloke here is Joseph, he's the general manager. General one's here. Oh, thank you, manager, sorry. Just give it. Poor old Joe's got the flick already within 5 minutes. Venue manager Joseph, and then the lovely Jules behind the bar here that's serving drinks. So tell us a little bit about the beers that you've got on tap and what we're going to have a go at.
Alright, we'll do it in the tasting order.
Yeah?
We'll get close to the mic.
Yeah, we can do that.
So our first beer is actually a really traditional American lager. So we've got American grains, American yeast. We actually import that from America as required. German hops, Hallertau hops, and you'll just notice it's like a really easy drinking lager, but it's got like a good sort of backbone of sort of maybe banana flavours.
Okay. How hard is it to import those products in small batches like that, to do small batch brewing?
It's difficult because it makes it not as cost effective. So we'll get
Paying a bit more for it.
Yeah, we'll get 2 litres of yeast in from America, and it actually needs to come in really quickly so that there's the yeast is still viable and it's still lively. So we can actually get yeast in about 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, from the States, landed here, sort of ready to go.
That's impressive. Hey, go on.
What we might do is take the painters back to the table. I reckon it'd be easier to
a table?
Yeah, to that
Okay,
table.
let's do that. So thanks, Jules. This is Jules. She's the lady.
Say hi.
Say hi. This is one. So let's head over to this. So these two blokes are going to taste them and drink them and tell us what they're like. Facial expressions when I try it would be good. Not that that's an exciting thing. Righto. So tell us what we're looking at, guys. So I'm going to pick this up and put it in front of the camera so everyone can see.
You're all right with that, Pete?
Yeah, I'm good. So left to right, tell us what we're looking at, Steve.
So we've got, is it your left and my camera left?
Okay, my left. Yep.
So we've got our Long Island Lager, which is,
So this is the Long Island Lager,
so it's an American style lager.
right?
Pete, could we tell you first?
Yep.
If that's all right.
Absolutely.
So all of the beer names are peninsula names.
Oh, wow.
In fact, everything is actually from either like close to the peninsula. There's a couple of things from down in Sorrento.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you like, we can tell you about
Yeah,
the
tell
names.
us the story.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
please,
Here we
yeah.
go.
So Long Island, it's just a little a region close to the beach. It's only sort of maybe a stone throw away from us, and you know they're the guys that have houses by the beach. They go down to the beach sipping on their beers.
Yeah.
So this is Lindsay and his
this
mates
is-
that used to fly down
that's
and
it.
all that crew. Yeah, I know the one.
This is
Yeah,
Lindsay's.
yeah.
This is Lindsay's beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is Long Island. So this is probably named after the more affluent area.
Correct.
Which is a bit of an oxymoron, really, isn't it? You got a lager that's smashable by the Franksonites that's named after the more affluent part of the country.
That's exactly right.
That's really good.
The ones that live by the beach and the socialites.
Nice. They're the ones I like to hang out with, those kind of people.
You
Anyway,
could drink that all day.
that is just so palatable. It's just you kind of go, I want to have a beer, and you drink that and you go, that's beer.
Yeah.
I like it. And it has got that, is this the one that's got the banana-y
I
sort
think
of,
a little bit of banana.
do you want it?
Yeah.
It has a bit.
We don't put it on the tasting notes because people get a bit off put by banana in their beer.
But it has got a bit of that edge on the end of it. It's really nice though. It's good. I'm not going to give drinkability scores tonight, Al.
He normally gives his
That's
drinkability
fair.
score, and he did this thing last year. And there was this ripping beer that we had, and he gave it a 6, and I was like, "That's it, you're done."
That's your smashability scores now.
Or
Yeah,
smashability. Smashability on that's big. Let me
Or
give
the
you
socially approachable score.
socially approachable. Or social approachability. Maybe we should change it to that. Right? How social are you after you have 10 of those?
So yeah, probably not very.
No, I'd be very social. But anyway, okay. So that's the lager, the Long Island Lager.
Long Island, yeah.
Can I ask? So this is probably a rude question, but when we buy at the bar here, you're buying in pots, schooners, pints,
Just and schooners.
pots and schooners. What are we paying for a pot, and what are we paying for a schooner of lager?
$6 for a pot, $9 for a schooner. And then we just make it the same price through the board.
So same
Makes
price
it
across.
easy. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's good. Craft
Yeah.
beer, small batch stuff. Good
Awesome.
value. Yeah. All right. So number 2, what are we looking at here? This guy.
Number 2 is our Sunnyside Session Ale.
So this is a Sunnyside Session Ale.
So it's an American wheat.
Yep.
It's got, I guess, citrus notes onto it. So it's quite a bit
Should
of
add a
wheat,
glass of water here to be able to.
a lot of wheat background in it, and a bit of citrus and the hops.
Definitely got that wheat. Yeah.
Completely different flavour profiles,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just you go from this.
Funny, that's a different beer.
With the beer, we will
I'm
make.
over this. So, tell us the story behind this guy.
The story about the name is actually a nudist beach.
Why wouldn't you name
I
a beer
know
after a
Sunnyside
nudist
down
beach?
in Mornington.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know it,
Well, that's
Pete.
not. Well, when I say know it,
You know of it.
It
yeah.
sounds like Pete's been there.
that is so far from being a naked beer. That's a naked beer. Anyway, yep, go on. So Sunnyside after the nudist.
Sunnyside after nudist beach. It is a session ale, so like around 3.8%. So it's for those who want
What's
to
the
drive home.
cut-off for a session ale?
4%.
So for anything under 4's sessionable.
You've got to be under 4. So international beer guidelines will say you've got to be under 4%.
To be a session beer, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
That's where I've been going wrong.
what a goal!
I always go for the strongest one and stick with that.
I was
That's
going to
my
say,
session.
we've been having sessions on 8% hazy IPAs. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yep, okay, so
Okay.
what are we running at an ABV on this? That's the
3.8%. I think we would probably like to target it at 3.6 or 3.7
So
now.
it's a mid-strength,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
it's
It's
not
a
crazy.
mid-strength.
What was the
Long Island.
Long Island?
5%?
Oh, so it was up there, okay, so it's a reasonably heavy one.
Yeah.
So this is what you would consider your mid-strength.
For sure.
Is that the lowest in the range that you have?
Yes.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Righto, so
But
that...
we also didn't want to make a mid-strength that was had no flavour as well.
Yeah, 100% because most of them don't.
It's got plenty of flavour.
Yeah, no, it's got great flavour.
Good. Good. Righto, what have we got next?
Next,
What have we...
yeah.
So we've got the
I'm going to get drunk here.
we've got the
Drinking these.
Harold
That's
Hop
right.
IPA.
So this is the Harold Hop.
This
Right,
is
So
the
so
banana.
we'll
is
let
it?
we'll
Is
let you
this after
guess.
Harold Holt?
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is after Harold Holt, our former Prime Minister that went for
Yeah.
a wander into the ocean out here and decided he
He's
wasn't
never seen
coming
again.
back.
Yep.
There is rumours that Chinese submarine picked him up.
Really? So did he share
Was it
this
organised, or-
recipe with you, or is there a secret here? You look like you're trying to hide something, Trav.
No, well that's the story, isn't it? You got-
I just thought you were hiding something from us, that was all.
That again is so drinkable. Like you could have a session on it, 100%.
Yeah, it's not overly bitter, and it's not.
What's
It's
the
not
ABV?
bitter. The IBU's 5.8%.
Oh, so it's
It's up there.
got a bit of donkey about it.
Bit of donkey.
It's up there and it's on the low end of the IBUs from a IPA standpoint.
So tell us about IBU. Explain the IBU for us.
So that's your international bitterness unit, and the IBUs are extracted from those, primarily the initial hops that you put into the kettle. So that extracts that bitterness from those hops. And the
So
longer the
you
hops
measure
are in-
that at that point, and that's where you get your ABU score for a beer.
Yeah, correct. So, and you can get IPAs that are up in the 110 IBUs higher. And this
So
is
the higher the IBU, the more bitter the beer.
correct.
Right.
Yeah. So as a comparison, this is around about the 35 in the IBU scale.
Right. So it's not crazy. It's again, just all the.
No, I'm not just saying that because we're sitting here with the owners as well, but these are
They've all been really
amazing. Yeah, I love them all.
easy drinking beer. It's
I'll take a case home of all. Oh no, I'm going to have to take the vat home. They haven't
you've got
got
to take a
cases
keg,
yet.
mate. That's it. I don't know how you're going to take any home, but anyway, we'll work that
I
out.
bought the ute, luckily.
Yeah, we could. So this is number 4 on the tasting paddle. What are we looking at here, boys?
This is the Ambassador Pale Ale.
Ambassador Pale Ale.
What's this one
This
after?
is right up your alley, right?
So
I love a pale ale, yeah.
a couple of things this one's after. So it's really kind of marked after an English style pale ale, so we've got an English style yeast in it.
So
and
right,
that's
I'm
sort
only
of
going to be in
carrying
English.
up. But you might not agree with that if you're English, but
He'll tell you whether it's English.
it's
Don't
kind
worry
of
about that.
got that flavour versus the American style or your Australian style in particular. The name we had just down the road, or just a stone's throw away, was the famous Ambassador Hotel at Frankston. Bit of a landmark here, and very bit controversial in the area. But then Ambassador also ties in with that English background.
Some great stories about the Ambassador many years ago, right?
Yes.
There was always some good stories about that place, but let's not go
So it started out as quite a nice hotel where you want to have a wedding at, but it's quite the opposite of that now.
Now you
That's
just
a
go for
bloody
the
good
honeymoon.
pale ale.
That's got honey.
Cheers.
I
That's
can taste
amazing.
honey when I drink that.
Maybe caramel.
For me, my
Yeah.
personal taste, like my taste buds, it's screaming honey.
Yeah.
And caramel, I guess, is probably.
You'd
Same,
hope
same.
caramel seeders, that's what
My
the
taste
brewers
buds
are telling you.
My
isn't it?
taste buds are crap. Anyway, but I shouldn't say that because,
That's a bloody amazing pale ale.
excuse me.
As we said, different style pale ale to what you
100%.
normally get in Australia, because
Definitely.
Australians generally brew it like the Americans.
Do you think, have you ever thought about moving to Doncaster?
Or setting up a
Or
keg.
Alphington, whatever.
Just set
My
up a
office is
keg.
in Alphington,
It's all
live in
good.
Doncaster.
So, ABV on this guy, on the pale ale?
4.6. Is that right?
4.6.
I'm looking up at the menu actually.
Oh, come on, mate. You should know this off the top. You blokes who have brewed this shouldn't have to look up there. Righto. So it's about 4.6. So that's about a standard Aussie beer, about a 1.2, 1.3 standard drinks kind of thing in that guy. Righto. So here we are at the dark and dirty end of town. What's this guy? This is Pope's Eye Porter.
Yeah.
So tell us about the porter and why you did a porter.
Why wouldn't you do a porter?
So
I think you kind of
It's
answered
like-
that. It was
It's
like,
like
Except why
smoking a
wouldn't you do
cigar,
that?
isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Hang on, I'll tell you in a minute.
Mate,
You know that I'm
he's not a porter person. That's
He poured me. We did a St. Pat's Day special last week.
green porter.
No, this bloke poured me a
Guinness.
Guinness because we did some Guinness sauce on some potato skins,
yeah.
which was sensational. We just knocked up this Guinness sauce, which was magnificent. But I'm not a massive fan of Guinness, so he stuck some Tia Maria in it. I'm like,
the
yes.
same as I used to work in bars and everyone said
Anyway.
Guinness.
yeah.
A little bit of Tia Maria changes the flavour completely.
So I drank a pint of Guinness with some Tia Maria. But anyway, so
But
tell
this
us about
doesn't
the
need
porter.
the Tia Maria, trust me.
I mean, for me,
And what's the Pope's Eye? How's that?
So down on Sorrento, I think it was back in the war days that they'd started setting up a location in the ocean ready to put sort of guns and things on for the war purposes. But the land guns got better, and the facility never ended up being used. So they started putting like turrets and stuff in at Point Nepean instead, and off Queen's Cliff.
Yep.
But it's still there now. It's still a great diving spot.
And is that called Pope's Eye?
Pope's Eye, that's Pope's Eye.
Wow.
So not only have you learned about beer tonight, but you've got a
you've learned
history
about the
lesson
history, yeah.
of the Mornington Peninsula.
Little bit.
Anyway,
It's a good trip out to Pope's Eye, even on a boat if you want, because near there's the Chinaman's Hat.
you get the seals,
Seals, that's it.
You
dolphins,
might have to get
Yeah,
jet
go
skis
for
out.
seals and the dolphins, all that kind of stuff.
it.
So tell us about the beer, Steve. What's the profile of this beer?
so I mean, it's a fairly balanced porter, so you can get porters
really is,
that
it's
are
not
really,
harsh.
you can get very coffee balanced or chocolate sort of leaning. We've kind of tried to really balance that with a hint of chocolate, a little bit of not really too much coffee, so not too much bitterness in there.
But it's
You can taste the coffee, but it's not like
Yeah.
some
It's
of the
not
porters that
heavy.
you have, and it's not a massive hit.
It's not
coffee
heavy.
hit.
It's at 4.2%. So it's a really low ABV porter.
Yep.
And that's, you're probably tasting it too. It's really not heavy at all.
No, it's not. It's almost, it's got that heavy taste, but with a crisp sort of finish on it, I guess, is probably the way I'd describe it. But it is a bit like smoking a cigar for me. When I drink these dark, heavy beers, it's like going to a cigar room and pulling out the big...
You do really
big
struggle with it, but
stogie
my
and-
thing when I go back to the UK is I'm a massive ale drinker, like I love my dark, like where it
for me,
I'm a massive fan.
For me, drinking your beer is like having a meal. You've got your lagers for your entree, and then you get into your heavy IPAs and your pales, and then the porter's that dessert on top.
Yeah.
And
So talking about that, your menu and your beers, you've matched those? I'll tell you what, Roaming Bubbles. Grab the camera, Al, and flick it across to Roaming Bubbles. We want a picture of him with the tasting paddle. So Roaming Bubbles is what do you reckon, mate? Hang on, we'll get over to you. What do you reckon of the?
No, I like it.
Which one did you try? You've done the lager.
Yeah.
How was it?
This was my favourite.
That one,
Second one, yeah.
which is the Harold Hop.
that's the session ale.
Oh, the session
Session
ale.
ale, yeah.
Not the Long Island.
He's a fan of the porter as well.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice work,
Thanks,
Roaming.
mate.
He'll be back on the camera in a minute. It's all good. Hey, so guys, you can come down here, partake. $16 for a paddle. You get 5 beers, and you get a
And well worth it.
reasonable taste of each of the beers. You certainly get to
They're
work
all
out
bloody good.
what you like and what you like, because there's nothing there I didn't like,
No,
which is
100%.
good. Sometimes I'm a little bit harsh and I can be a bit of a critic, but
And that's the thing though, you do actually say how you feel with them normally, so... And the
And-
fact
and-
that you've actually enjoyed every one, I'm shocked.
I'm very honest when I try a beer. If one's pretty crap, I'll say it's pretty crap, and even if you're here. But the one thing
Honest
I do
feedback's
like,
good feedback.
even that porter, like, even though it's kind of heading to that taste profile that I kind of go, oh, it's very drinkable. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, it's
Not
not
over the
offensive.
top, exactly. That's what I was saying. Like it's not got that heavy coffee flavour, or it's not the heavy chocolate, or it's just that. It's a good
You
mix.
know, sometimes when you hit something that's just an acquired taste, where you go, there's people that will like it and there's people that won't.
Yeah.
They'll just hate it.
That's with most paddles. Most paddles you have, you'll go through it and go, oh, there's 2 or 3 I like.
Yeah.
There's 2 I didn't like.
That's right.
We're hoping that most of the beers you have in these paddles you generally like.
100%. I can say 100%.
Yeah,
I'll
they're
drink
all
every single
drinkable,
one of them
which
again.
is great.
Yeah.
Hey, so you guys have done an awesome job. The brew house is fantastic. Great to chat with you. Thanks for showing us through out the back. I mean,
Yeah, really. And
you
thanks
know,
for having
here
us
we
as
are.
well. Yeah,
We
thanks for coming.
figured
I
we'd
appreciate it.
have a chat with you guys for 15, 20 minutes. Here we are, almost an hour later. So it's been great. What we're going to do is we're going to up stumps in a minute, and we're going to go and upset your crew in the kitchen. There's a little bit left in our paddles,
We'll have them after.
so we're going to go and stir up Cam and Nina in the kitchen with Roaming Bubbles, and hopefully they've got some food cooked for us, and we're going to bring it out, and they might even tell us, or you guys may even be able to tell us while we're here, which beer goes best with which food, because I'm sure you know. And if you don't, we can have a chat with Cam.
I don't know if we'll be able to pinch Cam and Nina, mate, because they're
but
quite
we'll
busy
go
in the
on.
kitchen.
No, have a go.
We'll wander in there. And we're allowed to do that with COVID and all that sort of stuff. Cool.
definitely.
All right.
Where's
Let's go
Bubbles?
in there.
Have
Thanks,
we got
guys.
Bubbles in there, or where is he?
Oh,
He is in there.
I don't know where Bubbles is. He's gone. He's already in there.
Getting a pee.
Can you hear that, Shell? Is there no sound at all?
It's just here.
Hey guys, sorry, we're having sound issues in the kitchen, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring everyone back out. There'll be some food coming back through shortly. So bear with us for 2 seconds. We're going to keep showing you the videos in the kitchen as we have a bit of a chat. For some reason the mic's given up on the with roaming bubbles, unfortunately, so we do apologise for that.
You can get us back on.
What we'll do is we'll get us back on. And you can deal with us for a minute.
So here we are. Sorry about that. We're going to get... Let's get these guys back. The guys that know the stuff.
Got to bring the food in.
Yeah, sure. Bring it out. Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to bring, obviously the sound's not working in the kitchen, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring Steve and
Nina?
Trav back out.
Steve and Trav.
Are they going to come out?
And maybe even Ken might wander out, the chef, and he can tell us a little bit about it.
They can tell us about the food and maybe the food
here we go.
as we go.
So we'll move that back out the way a little bit. We don't need notes.
No, we don't.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Here we go. So these are the two dishes. When I looked at the menu online before we came in, come in guys. No. There you go.
So what we've got is we've got the chicken wings there. Are they a buffalo wing by the look of it?
Yes.
They are. That wasn't bad, was it?
So Cam makes the wings with Frank's hot sauce.
Yep.
And then he's got a...
We are massive fans of Frank's hot sauce, I've got to tell you.
I put it on everything.
Massive fans.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to hold these up, right? So, I don't know whether you can see this. I'm hoping you can. Look at that. Yes, you can. So I'm going to pull that right into the middle, and I'm going to
looking forward to that cauliflower. Because we did sample the sauce that he puts on it a little bit earlier.
Hey, the cauliflower's on my side. You miss out.
Of course it is. And then we've got the croquettes. What's in the croquettes, boys?
It's a smoked cod croquette.
Smoked cod.
There you go.
With the harissa sauce.
A harissa sauce, is it? So these are the sauces that you're doing.
If I get it wrong, Cam's going to kill me.
So these are the sauces that you're having with the croquette.
These are the options for the chips.
Right.
For the house cut chips.
Haven't got the options just with the chips.
So what do you get on the options? What are we looking at there?
You're looking at an aioli, garlic aioli.
Yep.
Saffron aioli. You can also have the jus that they normally put with the porterhouse.
Yep.
And it's also a homemade tomato sauce.
Don't sweet talk me like that, Trav. Did you say porterhouse?
Yeah.
So you showed the wings, didn't you, Al?
Yeah,
We showed the wings. As I said, Frank's hot sauce. It's a really mild blue cheese sauce. Same again. It's not too harsh. Sometimes people get really turned off by the blue cheese. So even people that don't like blue cheese they're liking the sauce.
You're talking to the wrong people when you say
I was going to say
blue cheese. We literally slather it normally.
Talking to blokes who smash buffalo, and in fact, we do.
When we do some catering, that is one of the things we actually do is the buffalo wings or
We
buffalo
tend
ribs.
to do ribs more than we do wings. I don't know what your feeling is on that, but we
might bring the ribs on in winter.
Ribs are magnificent because you get more meat per kilo of chicken.
Yeah.
So if you get a kilo of wings and a kilo of ribs, you're going to get more meat on the ribs than you do on the wings. And we love it because you got one little bone, bang, there it is, almost like a drumstick.
Just ease of eating. So you're being lazy is what you're telling everyone.
I love it. So when we talk about these dishes, I'm assuming there's a match sort of drinking profile with them or not?
Look, it's easy to match it with our wine list, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Can we get a wine paddle? Joking. All right.
So we'd like to think, look, you drink the porter with the mussels, there's no doubt about that, or whatever beer it's been cooked in. Yeah. So if you cook the mussels in the pail, then you might as well have a glass of pale with it.
I'll give you the tip. I'm not a fan of cod and that kind of thing, but I'm going to give this a go. So what's the sauce that's in here with the cod croquette? Are we talking to the wrong
We
people?
might need to ask the head chef about that.
Righto. Well, we'll
Oh, the mussels. Here we go.
Drunken mussels.
the drunken mussels. So look at that, folks.
And that's what you drink your porter with.
Yes, I'm
you
not
have
sure
to
whether
put
we
it with the
didn't get sound in there, but basically these are what we
Wow.
call drunken mussels, and
Thanks,
you
Shell,
can
that looks
order them either
magnificent.
with our pale ale or the porter.
Yeah.
So it has a bit of that beer in either of them, and that really adds to the flavour of the.
So I'm going to try a bit of the croquette.
Yeah. Fan, Pete?
Yeah, it's creamy. It's not strong and pungent like I kind of think of cod and I think of that really strong sort of fishy taste. It's not that at all.
No. Tell you what, the smell coming off this table at the moment is
Oh.
absolutely.
Are you drooling yet?
Mate, on the inside,
Are you
yes.
drooling yet? Unbelievable.
It's actually ridiculous.
So that cod croquette is
It's a smoked cod croquette.
smoked.
Yeah.
And that's the important part.
Oh, 100%.
It's funny because we're going to get Cam out here. Here he
We
comes.
might get Cam
Yeah,
out.
come on, big fella. If you've got a minute,
My seat here, and then
oh, look out.
Sure.
Steve's going to give up his posse.
Cool.
Wrangle him out.
So we're going to bring Cam out, the head chef.
So we're going to talk to Cam about how he came up with the menu, and I'll tell you
Cam,
what.
mate. Unfortunately, we lost sound when we were inside there, so we
That's
didn't get a
fine.
lot of what you
Yeah,
were talking about.
Take some of that, and you talk to Cam while I shove this in my face.
Go on then, mate. So tell us about the cauliflower, Cam. So you've got the smoked.
So
Was
yeah,
it smoked harissa?
no smoked cashew cream
Smoked cashew cream. That was it.
down
yeah.
the bottom,
Yeah.
which is just an addition to a dish that was already quite well balanced for vegan and vegetarians.
Yeah.
The harissa is a Moroccan sort of equivalent to pesto,
Yeah.
which is capsicum, chili, ground cumin, ground coriander, a little bit of red wine vinegar, and that's been extra oil added to it to make like a dressing.
Yep.
Which I then just roasted in the oven at 160 for about 45 minutes until it's soft all the way through. The smoked cashew cream is just boiling raw cashews or roasted cashews in this case, so much nicer flavour. And then I boil them for about half an hour until they're really super soft, and whisk it until it's like a creamy puree consistency. A couple of cloves of garlic, good squeeze of lemon juice, and then just use my little.
I'll tell you what, he's giving away all of his secrets.
I'll
isn't
tell
he?
you, we were jumping into Cam a little earlier going, hey, do you reckon there's any chance we can steal that recipe?
That was just after we tried a little bit of it as well, wasn't
And
it?
he goes, come here and taste this, and he's got the smoker out. He's triple smoked the sauce.
The sauce to get such a really intense smoke flavour right at the front.
And it's
That is-
impressive, very
did you
impressive.
try?
Yeah, I haven't tried the
Go
cauliflower
on, mate.
yet.
I'll talk. You have a go. So the menu here, Cam. Yep. You tell me that these guys have been open 5 weeks. You're the head chef here. How did the menu come about? Like, what was your thinking behind the menu?
My thinking behind the menu was, I feel the way of hospitality now is all shared style, tacky style. The way
Yeah, wow.
the one plate meal is on its way out very slowly. And I like, as an environment like you can hear here, everyone talking, having a good time, and for that you need
We
to
say,
have that shared
shut
food.
up. I'm joking.
You need to have that shared style food. And what I put together was sort of the food I would, if I went to a brewery, what would I want to eat on the menu? With the croquettes, the hot wings, the cauliflower, and the house cut chips. Yeah, you can do your own, like buy them in. I think the rustic look of the house
I'm going to
cuts
say
are
these
better.
chips look
So
bloody amazing.
you
so
and the
I'm gonna have one.
amazing Nina out there, and we're really sorry that the other
gonna pinch.
camera and the sound wasn't working, because we'd love to. We might sneak Nina in a minute. You guys previously worked at almost a fine dining sort of restaurant down here on the peninsula.
Yeah.
So a place called Captain Jack's.
Yep, down at Somerville. We
Down that way.
worked together there.
Yep.
And we just clicked.
So why'd you come here?
I thought it was time to jump out into the head chef shoes again, and what better way to help a brand new business from the
Yep.
ground up?
100%.
You know, and you've got, and we're all locals. So Travis is from Frankston. I'm born and raised Frankston, and I just figured why not have a chef from Frankston.
Yeah.
So, Trav, what did you guys see in this bloke as a head chef for the restaurant? But what was the thing that you went, he's the right bloke for this gig?
We definitely wanted someone local.
Yep.
But we also wanted someone that shared our vision as well. And Cam definitely presented as the one that was on board with the shared plates. And we'd also come up with some menu items that we might have wanted on the menu. And Cam, during the job interview, pretty impressive. He said, we said, what would your menu look like? He goes, well, I'm glad you asked. Here is a copy of the menu.
Wow.
Really?
Very impressive.
Oh, kudos to you, mate. Well done.
About 80%
Well
of
done.
it made it, didn't it?
And it works.
80% of it made it.
And
Is that
yeah,
right?
So how much of it? Yeah. 80%.
So you've gone, here's a local brew house. This is what they're about. This is what I think should be on the table.
Pretty much
80% of that made it to the
80% of it.
table.
It was, the menu originally
Well
was
done, mate.
about 24, 25 items long. So we've now dropped it down to 13, 15, something around there.
I think focus, keep it simple,
Yeah,
stick in it and right.
Exactly.
So the mussels, tell us about the mussels.
Right.
Because we didn't hear it in there
Yeah,
because the
that's fine.
sound went off.
That's fine. So, if I was coming out to eat at a brewery, and
gonna
if
try one.
I was going to have, say, a bowl of mussels, I wouldn't want wine or a stock base or anything. I would want the beer that is produced on site. So, originally we had decided to try and use all the beers. But after a tasting,
So you're going to use every beer in with the mussels.
all of them.
Wow.
And then we tasted a few of the different flavour profiles, and I think it was Travis and I decided that the pale and the porter were the two definites. When I did the little tasting before I got the job, we actually tried it with the porter, and I've never tried porter really myself. And as soon as I tasted it, I was like, that is completely different. That is such a flavour profile I've never tasted before, and it was just
Well,
absolutely.
they're a big
bang
hit
on.
over on the table with the girls. So
Yeah, Prue love them.
Yeah, they had the pale ale.
Yeah.
And you got to have chili with it. You got to have chili with mussels.
Kind of chilling with everything, I reckon. But anyway, let's not go there.
The more chili, the better.
I've got to tell you,
agree.
Al, I'm going to talk. You try one of them. They are up there.
he does this to me all the time.
I know, I love
Because then the focus comes onto me
I love
eating.
it. I love it. Get onto it.
It's got a little bit of a kick on that.
I'll tell you, they have got a kick. They are the second best wings I've ever had. Ours are the
I was going
best.
to say, yours would be the best.
Holy kidding. No, they're bloody good. Your blue cheese sauce, you make that in here?
Yep.
That's a really nice blue cheese sauce, by the way. So that is magnificent. So if you had a signature dish for the Frankston Brew House and chef's recommendation, what is it? The dish and the beer that goes with it.
The Jamaican half chicken. I love that dish. It is the cucumber lamina. I've been having that up my sleeve for the last 4 years. That little condiment. And it just works on everything.
Cammy, you're one of those freaky guys that goes home at night and goes, I'm going to get the herbs and the spices out of the cupboard and mucks around with.
No, but I have been known to be sitting doing absolutely nothing at home and then suddenly come up with a new recipe and a new menu idea for no reason.
So, here's the $1 million question. Barbecue and smoking at home, what do you do? Because we're all about barbecue and smoking, right?
I think you can't go past a really good pork rib and a really good brisket. And I prefer for my pork, I go quite sweet, and for my brisket, I go quite savoury and spicy.
So traditional. You're traditional
very
barbecue
traditional,
guy.
Yeah.
You love your barbie.
I did a cherry barbecue sauce when I did my last set of
Cherry barbecue.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and it was.
Might have to get the recipe for that.
So what are you smoking on at the moment? You're on an offset or a pellet or
I got an offset at home.
you're on a stick burner, an offset stick burner?
Yeah, stick burner that I use.
Managing the flame,
Yeah,
mucking around
exactly
with all
right.
that, right?
I even have 4 fruit trees at home that I cut the wood down with my old man, and
We're just going to pop around after the show's done. We're going to bag
We're
some.
following you home.
We
Don't worry
got
about the
we got
headlights
some
in your review.
plumwood, pearwood, lemonwood, and
You're
cherry
going to
wood.
want it. No.
It's fine. It's fine.
Hey, Trev, just barbecue at home. What's your experience with barbecue? Where are you at? You're the 4-burner gas barbecue bloke at home, or you got a whip?
I'm the guy that goes around to the guys that cook for me.
Well played, I say.
It's the fact he said, hey, can you blokes come down and do some of that
Exactly, yeah.
smoky stuff like that? Yeah.
We'll provide the beer, you provide the meat.
Sounds
Let's
like
do
a
it.
plan. I'll tell you what,
I'm keen,
we're on.
definitely.
We're on, and I'll tell
But
you.
we might have to book in and stay with my brother. And,
Hey,
yeah.
anyone that doesn't have the day off work afterwards is a bum. Hang on, no, that's already been done, right? It's already been done.
Yeah.
Hey, so awesome effort. Love the food. Love the
food's
beer.
amazing, the beer's amazing. Mate,
venue.
if you haven't been here, get down here.
The
Obviously,
people,
they've only been here 4.5 weeks, but
I don't know.
get on down
I
here.
don't know
Everyone's
about the
accommodating. Come down and see Jules behind the bar, Joseph,
So, guys,
everyone.
unless you've got something else you want to share with us, I think we've pretty much shaken you, rattled you, tipped all the information out here about Frank's and Brew House. We've had an awesome night. We've enjoyed everything that's been put in front
We've
of
had
us.
a ripper up.
Yeah,
Keen
it's
to
been
do it
great.
again. Keen
Love
to
it.
come down and do something again with
Love
you
it.
guys. Be
What
awesome.
we should actually do is organise an event,
Yeah.
a 2SG event here. Bring all our guys, the community down and have a smoking day and
Absolutely.
enjoy
Smoking
the
a beer day.
hospitality. Smoking a beer day. Sounds like a plan.
Love it.
All right, boys. Thanks, Cam.
Awesome.
It's
Thanks,
been
Cam.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Amazing.
Trav.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks,
Superstar.
Trav. Appreciate it, mate.
Thanks, Steve, who's off to the
Steve.
side there. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Hey, what we're going to do is Romy Bubbles, if he's about, we're going to get him to go and poke the camera in the face of Michaela and Jamie.
Might get Trav to show Bubbles where Michaela and Jamie are.
Yep. So,
everyone can
and
see
we
their
might even
faces.
get them to stick their
I
nose in
don't know
here
if
for a
that
second.
sound's working on it. That's a troll.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Al. I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna pull my
No
notes back
sound
for a
on the
second.
Roman Bubbles, but we can still talk in the background.
Can they hear us?
Pete?
Can you hear us? Hello?
way.
Hello? Are we here?
That
We
way,
got
so
us.
it's got it on me.
Hey, Al.
So go and say hello to
No,
Michaela
hang on.
and Jamie.
And while we're doing that, I got my gag of the week, right? I got my.
Go to Michaela and Jamie, wherever they are.
So what we're going to do, Roaming Bubbles is we're going to put his camera up. Away he
Yeah,
goes. He's going for a wander, and we're going to introduce you. Apologies that we haven't got sound. There's the girls up the front. Roaming
So they're
Bubbles
hiding
is
over there somewhere. We're fat.
good on you,
Roman
Bubbles.
will find them.
So
They're over there
on the
somewhere.
left-hand side is Jamie. Jamie's the other owner. Michaela's on the right.
Yeah.
Michaela's
they were
the
very
one that
camera shy.
They
and
are
didn't want to
very
get on
camera
tonight,
shy.
But Michaela has been our point of contact and been absolutely amazing and a pleasure to deal with. So thank you very much to Michaela.
You're amazing, Michaela. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So
Hey,
thanks so much.
so anyway, there's this guy, right? He goes into a bar.
Hang on a hand. Go on, start again. Go
So
on.
there's this guy. He goes into a bar.
Is this your gag?
This
Oh,
is
it's not your gag. This is just
This is a story.
general
This
conversation.
is a general conversation, mate. Don't go blowing my gag. So this guy walks into the bar, right? And he says, goes to the barman and says to the barman, I'd like a pint of beer. Barman comes back, a pint of beer, hands it to him. He goes, that'll be 5 cents, mate. Bloke goes, 5 cents? All right, there you go. He says, mate, I reckon I might have a shot of whiskey in that as well. Barman goes, no problem. No worries at all, mate. Goes over, gets him a shot of whiskey, pours it into his beer. Says, that'll be another 5 cents, mate. Bloke goes,
Mate, where's this bar?
he goes, you've got to be kidding me. This cost me 10 cents. He goes, mate, any chance I could get a bag of crisps with that? Just some chips. He goes, no problem, buddy. 3 cents for a bag of chips, it's all yours. He goes, mate, this is the best bar I've ever been in. He goes, I'd love to speak to the owner. Could you get him out here? He said, this is amazing. And he said, well, you can't speak to the owner. He's busy. He's actually upstairs with my wife at the moment. This is the barman's wife. The bloke says, he's upstairs with your wife. What's he doing upstairs with your wife? He said he's doing exactly the same as I am down here to his bar. Hey, look at
All right,
that!
that's
I
one of your
gotta
better
laugh.
ones. That's one of your better ones. I'll give you
I
that.
gotta
Yeah,
laugh.
that's not bad. That's not bad. I will give him that.
So that's my gag of the night. There you go. So PA's gag of the week. Righto, mate. So we're going to wrap this up. We've been going like an hour and 44 minutes now.
We have now. Connor, good friend of yours, Ricky, Poli, giving him a bit of a shout out. His alpaca died apparently, so good luck, mate.
Yeah.
And
Condolences,
unfortunate
condolences, Ricky. It's
Thoughts with you, mate.
always
And
sad.
obviously with Connor,
always sad when you lose a pet. So that's a bit sad. Hey Al, what are you cooking this week? Please don't say alpaca.
I'm not doing alpaca. No.
Please don't
Honestly,
say
Pete,
alpaca.
that's just wrong. So this week, we've got a lot on this. This was my weekend off just to chill. After the last few weeks, I was doing nothing this weekend, but all of a sudden we've got this party on a good friend's party, Michael Tara. Been catching up with a little bit lately, and Ben and Luke and the boys. So catching up with them. So I thought I might do some pork belly bites and take them over for the party on the Saturday night. Just a bit of a
Saturday night party with the boys. You're getting into that, right? Well, I'm going to have a practice run for next week from when we get on. I'm going to have a practice run with the 2SG Easter hot cross bun pudding.
Wow.
So I'm going to have a crack at that.
There's been bought some hot cross buns today. I haven't had it.
There's been a few around, and they've
around. They came out on New Year's Eve.
They're talking about no, they're actually bringing them out as an all-year-round thing, but they're doing different flavours and stuff. So interesting stuff. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. Al,
beautiful. Well, what a night.
What a night. It's been fantastic.
Massive thanks, honestly. Huge thanks to all the guys
Big
here at the Frankston
shout out
Brewhouse.
to Michaela, Jamie, Travis, and Steve and Joseph and Jules and Cam and Nina.
Everyone
You've all
down
been
here.
awesome.
Everyone's been so accommodating. We've had a ripping night. And I look forward to doing it again with them.
At the risk of ripping off another show, do yourself a favour. Get down here.
100%.
Get down here. If you're looking for a day where you just head down the peninsula and have a bit of a go, if you're coming down here, come to the Frankston Brewhouse,
100%.
have a beer, have something.
Even if you're just driving through, because it is literally just off the freeway. It's just off the highway there.
Look at that.
Those chips are amazing.
Look.
Yeah, it's literally just off the highway. So if you're driving down the Frankston Freeway, you get to the end of the Frankston Freeway, jump off. It's a couple of minutes off, and then keep. Couple of minutes here, have a couple of beers, have a little bit of feed, and then keep going.
Perfect stuff. Perfect stuff. Hey, so next week, Al?
Next week we're going to do a review on last weekend on the Chef Brew and Barbecue Fest where we were last week. We did a heap of interviews. I reckon we probably did about a dozen interviews with some absolute ripping guys and girls.
And we're going to cook the hot cross bun
pudding. We're doing the hot cross bun pudding.
If you're talking in English, in proper English, it's
pudding or pudding, whichever one you want.
Pudding.
But anyway, yes, we're going to do that live, and we're obviously going to talk Chef Brew and Barbecue and get a few of the lives. I don't think we'll get them all on because we had quite a few on, and
we might make a bit of a montage of things.
So we'll do a few bits, and that'll be next week's show. So looking forward to it. But in the meantime, guys, anyone that's after any barbecue fuel,
and show the new logo on the coasters too. Look at that. Have a look at that. We put the new logo up. We've smashed them out on some coasters. They look magnificent.
Neil smashed them out on some coasters.
So good on you, on Pops. He's done a great job.
Done an absolute ripping job. And with those as well, jump on the website www.twosmokingguns.com. Make sure when you get to the checkout, you put in the code FBLive10 to get your 10% discount off anything in store. And that in store, we've still got some of the Oak Jones smokers in there. We've got all your charcoal,
low and slow rubs,
stuff. We've got some of the BB and charcoal BB rubs on there.
Yep.
And obviously we've got our gloves, we've got the magnets and the stickers.
Sauces. Yep.
Jump on there, guys.
We're going to get amongst the punters here. We're going to give out some merch, hand out some stickers and some magnets and stuff. And big shout out to the crew at the Frankston Brewhouse live tonight. Yay!
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Off. And in the meantime, keep on smoking, grilling, and chilling.
Take care, guys. Have a great week.
What happened? That was a bit bizarre.
No, electric came out. There was no sound.
When you reduce the volume out here, though, it helps with the...
What are you trying for? Cod?